Okay, now we are going to discuss about existence of golden ratio on Thanjavur Prahadeeswarar Temple in Tamil Nadu, India. So the golden ratio has a great influence in architecture, biological system, mathematics, arts, and also which is believed to hold the key to the secret of beauty and finds its representation in numerous natural and man-made masterpieces. So the golden ratio is also known as a divine proportion, God's fingerprint, nature's perfect proportion, the golden section 5, and simply known as a Fibonacci series. And this ratio is actually denoted by 1.618 etc., but it's simply denoted as 1.618 for our assumption. This golden ratio truly is unique in its appearance throughout the nature. So it is not a whole number, it is also known as a rational number. So what is the definition of golden ratio? The golden ratio is defined geometrically as the ratio where the ratio of the whole segment to the longer segment is equal to the ratio of the longer segment to the shorter segment. So in algebraically we define AB is the longest part, AC is the whole, AB is the whole part and AC is the longest part in that line. Similarly for AC is the longest portion, CB is the shortest portion. The ratio is equal to 1.618. If you take the reciprocal of this value, then we will get for 0.618. So that is the unique of this golden ratio. If you take a reciprocal, we will get the fractional part 0.618. So in numerically, we can define the golden ratio 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. So now we can study about how to construct a golden ratio in a straight line. The most straight line forward construction of the golden ratio has been presented by Guion. So consider the line AB with the middle point as 0 or O. Extend the line AB to C from B where OB and BC equal and draw the circle centered at O and passing through A and B. So we can draw the circle based on the center 0 with the distance A and B passing through A and B. Clearly AO and OB, BC, OD are equal. Also OD is perpendicular to AB. So now we find out the point M, where M is the intersection of AB with the circle C of D centered at C passing through D. That means we can draw a circle based on the center point as C. So if you draw the circle, that point intersecting the line AB as a point M, that is that point is marked as a golden ratio portion. So now we can get it AM and MB is given the portion of the golden section. So here the proof is given AO, OB, BC, OD we can consider as a value as 1. Then CM and CD equal to root 5. So BM is equal to root 5 minus 1. So AM is equal to 3 minus root 5. So now we can find out the longest part of PM divided by shortest length, that is AM. That is root 5 minus 1 divided by 3 minus root 5. The ratio is we find out root 5 plus 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 5. So another one construction, golden rectangle. So in that rectangle, first we can draw the square. Then using that square, we can divide it into two equal parts. Then we can draw one circle from the midpoint of the square to the corner point of the square. So using that length we can draw one circle. So using that intersection of the baseline we can finish the rectangle portion. That rectangle is known as a golden rectangle. Then we can construct a pie grid. That means we can divide the rectangle into three parts. That middle point length is 0.618 and the two side values are 1 1. So that ratio will give for the golden ratio value 1.618. So then golden ratio spiral. We can construct golden ratio spiral by using the Fibonacci values like a construction. That is a 1 1, then 2, then 3. We form a square like that. Then using that a square we can construct a spiral. Finally we get the golden ratio spiral. So that is a golden ratio and Fibonacci numbers have a connection. So first we can start from 1 to 1, 1 1 unit circle, then 1 plus 1 2. Then we can construct a square based on 2. Then 1 and 2 3. Then we can construct a square on based on the length 3. Then 5 we can construct a square length 5. Then we can construct a square length 8. Likewise this series will go. What is the relation between Fibonacci numbers and golden ratio? If you find the ratio for the consecutive numbers in the Fibonacci numbers, then finally we reach the golden ratio value 1.618. Golden ratio with circle. So here we can consider as a unit circle for length 1 and circle radius is 2, then circle radius is 3, then circle radius is 5, then circle radius is 8. Like a Fibonacci value we can consider as a radius, we form a circle. So finally we reach the golden ratio value. Otherwise we can consider as a big circle is value is 1.618 and small circle value is 1. Again we can get the golden ratio. So this is a golden triangle, depends upon the angle value and the golden ratio value will be varied. So if you want to find a golden ratio for the temples, towers or pyramid like that, we can find out using this construction we can find out the golden ratio in that structures. So that is a pentagon. So here also include the triangles. The triangle angle is for upper portion we have one triangle that contains angle 72, 72, 36. So in the two sides value of the triangle is pi, that is a golden ratio value, and the base value is 1. For the another one triangle is 36, 36, 108. So here also we can the side value of the triangle is pi pi and the base value is pi plus 1, that is a pi square. So here also we form the golden ratio based on the angles and the sides. So we already some proportions are found in the famous diagrams, that is a pictures. So here we can consider three paintings. One is Virtual Man, The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. In that paintings, based on the golden ratio they will construct for all these diagram, then only they will get famous for their finding. So here if we consider the Virtual Man, the body and the hands are divided into perfect proportion. Likewise the head and abdomen to palm, it is divided into the perfect golden ratio like a pie grid. So likewise that last supper man also, that Jesus and his followers are sitting in the table. That paintings was constructed based on the Jesus and their followers. They are perfectly matching the golden ratio, and also the above diagrams and backside of the Jesus constructions all are framed by golden ratio structure. That last finding Mona Lisa. That Mona Lisa is a very famous painting for human structures. So here their head and body have a perfect golden proportion, and also that forehead and eyes and nose and that elbow are have a perfect portions. That is a golden ratio exists for in their face also. That's why they are looking for beauty. So pi has been used to bring beauty and balance and harmonies to some of the world's greatest architecture. Now we focus on well-liked historical structure which influenced by the ratio, which are Egyptian pyramids, Parthenian Taj Mahal, Narrow Dome de Church, Paris, CN Tower, and United Nations building. But here we can go through Egyptian pyramids and Taj Mahal only. So if you look at the pyramid, Gaia, their base value and height values are um, marked with golden ratio values. If you finding the ratio, then we will get for golden ratio value pi. Suppose if we consider the base value is 1 and height value is for square root of pi, then we can get the hypotenuse values for pi value. That is a horizontal values we can get it pi. So that is the ratio of the height and length. It is approximately equal to 1.618. And also the Taj Mahal have a golden ratio behind their construction. If you look at that whole picture, that picture is divided into golden rectangle pie grid. So that middle portion, then two pillars are have a perfect proportion in the golden ratio. We are denoted here A and B. That ratio is A plus B divided by A by B equal to pi, that is 1.618. So another one miracle of this symbol, that Muslims are always used for that uh, holy number is 786. So if you taking for a square root of 0.786, we will get for square of that number, we will get 0.618. So that is also one of the beauty of and that famous of that number. So what is our main aim is to discuss about golden ratio exist in Prahadeeswarar Temple, Thanjavur, which is a 1,000 years old temple, which is also famous. It is also in UNESCO World Heritage. It is one of the World Heritage site of the UNESCO. It is height of the temple tower is 216 feet, and also it contains 60-ton weight of the Vimana in the top of the tower of the temple. So here we give some uh, topics, that is content related to Prahadeeswarar Temple. The temple entrance has a largest shadows of Nandi Mandapam with 16 feet and length on 13 feet in height. And this statue has been carved out of a single stone. That kumbham is the topmost component of the holy shrine and weight about 60 ton. It has been also covered out of a single granite stone. A huge idol of Lord Shiva with three eyes is presented inside the temple along with 108 dance forms of garmas. The exterior part of the other end is decorated with sculptures. There are 250 lingams, that is 250 lingams in the entire temple compound. This famous sanctuary is made of a pillared hall and an assembled hall which is known as the mandavas and many subserines. So this temple is dedicated to Shiva, surrounded by two walled perisins. The first one measured 270 meter into 140 meter, consisting of height wall running along the banks of the river Kaveri, and the second wall consists of portico with a double row of pillars measured 150 meter into 75 meter. The perimeter of the wall of a rectangle cloister with could be divided into two square. The center of the first square contains the Nandi pavilion, and the second contains the Shela. Over the Shela is the main cobram 60 meter height and 15 meter at its base. So this is a Google Map a picture. So this is a Prahadeeswarar Temple Praharam picture. So here we can note it's noted as A is the Garbhagraham, B is and C is our Mandavams, D is the Nandi Mandavam, and E is the Kobram, which is in entrance place. F is the Subramania temple, which is included in the temple Pragar. So here if you look at this picture, which is divided into two circle, that is the entrance of the temple to the middle of the temple Pragaram, and the middle of the temple Pragaram to end of the temple are perfectly divided into square. So now we can, using that division, we can form we can find out the golden ratio exist or not in that temple Pragar. We use the construction one here. So first of all, we divided into three squares for the given Pragaram, like ACHJ and BDGI and CEFH. So if you using that first construction, I will dictate in the above picture. So using that construction, we find out for each square and find out the golden section. The green color indicate the golden section where will be occurred. So if you look at the green section for the first square ACHJ, which is perfectly match the Garbhagraham. If you look at the last square, that golden section perfectly match the Nandi Mandavam, and the middle one is occupy the middle portion of the temple. So the whole temple entirely designed with the golden section. So we can find out how it will display in the golden section. So if you look at for horizontally, that blue line, yellow line and blue lines are perfectly proposed with the Garbhagraham, and middle place to Garbhagraham and end place to Garbhagraham. Likewise, the Nandi Mandavam to entrance and Nandi Mandavam to middle of the temple. If you consider the vertically, that one side of the temple to the Garbhagraham and another side of the temple to the Garbhagraham perfectly matched with the golden ratio. Likewise, the Nandi Mandavam and the middle of the portion of the temple also. So in horizontally, vertically and diagonally also, which is perfectly matched the golden ratio section. So this temple is fully constructed by using the golden ratio only. So which is not explained, but it is defaultly included. So then only their structures are very beautiful, very strong, and it is more stronger than the other building also, because of the golden ratio perfection exists in that construction. So using that pie grid of we saw here, The first picture is shows that golden portion, that pie graph golden portion exist and occupied the Garbhagraham. And the second one is occupied the middle of the temple, and third one is occupied the Nandi Mandavas. And the last one, if you look at we are using the spiral of here, we can show how that spiral will explain the golden ratio exist here. So here also all are touch the Garbhagraha, and it perfect portion to the side of the it portion for the first circle and second circle and third circle by using the square of the portion. So this big temple is more than 1000 years old one. From this study, we conclude that our Asian people are already known this ratio very well, and also which is an evident that they are genius in mathematics. So we are also follow uh, what are they given for us. Then we can use it in our future also. Thank you.